Just a sec. Hey, you see that? It says One Piece. I'm not playing around. It was a big week for headlines that pertain specifically to my interests. Look at this. The first ever Pokemon Lego sets have been revealed, and they look amazing. Look at this. Sony wiped over 1,000 shovelware games off the PlayStation Store without warning, all from a single developer. That developer, of course, being the one who makes the jumping taco game. Just poof. So obviously there's a lot to talk about this week, but let's start with those Lego sets. And to address the immediate question, oh yeah, they're expensive. This big boy is $650 US. But we're not going to have a discussion today about how I think Blastoise's head is getting too small these days. What is truly most interesting to me is that for the first time ever here, we have the marketing team behind the world's largest toy company working with the highest grossing media franchise in the world. What's going to be their take? And it's almost too truthful.
In a world of taxes, instead of gym badges, Destiny doesn't care about lower back pain.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's probably the first time I've ever heard a joke about Pokemon fans having back pain, and there are no children in the entire Pokemon commercial. For maybe the first time since that bus driver did what he did.
Where can you catch all 150 Pokemon?
But something I find funny about this whole ad, beyond like this idea that this guy hasn't seen Pikachu in 30 years.
Pikachu? No way.
It's that they wait for the end of the commercial to cushion it a bit, just in case you thought it was maybe a little too targeted. Maybe you saw yourself in this character and you're getting offended. No way, hold on, he's not some kind of loser. No, this guy's got an attractive partner who cares about his well-being.
Ethan, what's going on?
We're gonna catch and build them all.
Two things I love about that ending. One, how leathery it sounds when he turns around. And two, absolutely no reaction shot. However this girlfriend or wife responded to her man saying, I'm gonna go build and catch them all, it's unseen, it doesn't matter, it's not part of the story we're telling here. I don't see her name on any of these bills. And by the way, yeah, I know the puzzle heads watching this can't believe there's a border piece hanging out right there. Like they can't figure out where that one goes. But the message is clearly, millennials, look, we know you can't afford a Harley Davidson or an in-ground pool. So how about a janky Pikachu? And if you think I'm off base here, let's just check out the frequently asked questions. All right, first, this isn't relevant, but this kills me. Can I make a Lego Pokeball? Yes. Yes, you can. You don't need permission to build a Lego Pokeball. You don't need permission to build a Lego anything. They are building blocks for your imagination. The answer, though, is that if you want an official Lego Pokeball, you're in luck. Because they got one included with that $200 Pikachu who doesn't look quite right. It's in the back right there. But anyway, beneath that question, they lay it all on the line right here. Are these Lego Pokemon sets for kids? And the answer is no. These 3 Lego Pokemon sets are display pieces aimed at adult collectors. We're always releasing new sets across all our themes, however, so do check again in the future to see what's new. So it seems that maybe I just have to wait a little longer so I can buy the kids sets. And on to the next story. The sudden obliteration of thousands of easy trophies. A little background here. ThiGames has a long-running legacy on this YouTube channel. So back in 2022, I made a video about the strange surge of games that featured the least amount of gameplay possible in order to reward the player with a platinum trophy for doing essentially nothing. The world's largest nugget weight over 50 pounds. Then in 2024, we covered how, after an alleged warning, ThiGames was kind of cleaning up their act, adding gameplay elements to the jumping food games. Now they seem to have some grasp of game design. They're growing. Who's to say where the jumping food games could be in 1 year? And so what, now they're all gone? Just like that? And I feel like there's more to the story. ThiGames is not the only person who's ever doing this. Snow Journey Nitro is still out there, man. So either ThiGames did something particularly wrong, or this might just be the beginning of an absolute purge of stupid games. With apologies to ThiGames for calling it a stupid game, but you know what you did. And going through those old videos, I somehow became strangely nostalgic for breakthrough gaming. So this traces back to 2021. I was just talking about this Christian-themed game studio that would put out a new game every Sunday. Because Pammy says no. Pammy says you should make him come to you. And you know what? There was some ironic joy to the whole thing. I still have my Pammy shirt, but it's been 3 years since their last release, which was, of course, just called Online Open World RPG. And you're not going to be surprised to hear this, but it is not an open world RPG. However, it is kind of online. Where are you? Meet me in the upper left-hand corner. It's just high score? No. But that was it. That ambitious title. The Last of Breakthrough. I was checking out their website. It's all the same as I remembered it. I don't know her, but hey, there's Pammy. Hold on a minute. That says 2026. Scroll back up. Yeah, that squirrel is new. She's got a new game that came out January 11th. Okay, let's see it. It says play Breakthrough Gaming's Cozy Environments Volume 1 Snow with your Breakthrough Gaming portable subscription. So yeah, Breakthrough Gaming is back with a subscription service. Check out this catalog. All right, how much? I would like for you watching this right now to take a moment, think in your mind, how much you think it costs to gain access to all of those browser games. Wrong again, $30. When trying to figure out the monthly value of this library, Breakthrough Gaming says, how much is Game Pass Ultimate? Let's just do exactly that. And to address your immediate concern, did I subscribe? The answer is yes. In a world of taxes instead of gym badges, I collect dubious subscriptions to Flash games. And, sadly, that's where our story ends tonight. As you can see here, I must wait up to 72 hours before receiving my subscription confirmation. And as of recording, I'll check right now. Yeah, we don't have it yet. So, unfortunately, we're hanging on a cliffhanger this week. Because that's delayed input. I'll be back next week. Until then, thanks for watching. Kind of unusual thing happened this week. Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox each simultaneously posted identical press releases titled An Update to Our Shared Commitment to Safer Gaming. The safer gaming in this instance seems to mostly relate to parental concerns, especially for our youngest players, especially for children. We're not talking about Lego Pokémon here, But when you put these three things that are extremely similar next to each other, it's the differences, of course, that stand out to me. So I want to just point out three small things that are strangely different about these posts. All right, the first thing, the PlayStation post comes to us from Will Lewington, Director of Online Safety. The Xbox post is attributed to Kim Kunes, Vice President of Gaming Trust and Safety. Nintendo? No name attached. No, I'm not analyzing that. I'm just pointing it out. It's weird. But number two, Nintendo's version of the iconic triptych here is strangely compressed. You see this weird green bar on the Xbox panel? That's not there on the other posts. I don't know what would even cause that other than negligence. And again, this is not analysis. I'm just saying, look at that weird green bar. Why is that there? And number three, lastly, this is kind of analysis. These three logos are not the same. Logos 2 and 3 are brand logos, and logo 1 is for a specific product, the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, why would that be? You might assume that this is just Nintendo using this initiative as a way to prop up its rapidly free-falling, overpriced console. Congratulations, that's a YouTube-ready take. That's nice. But my theory, what I think is happening here, is simply that is Nintendo's squarest logo. Because you want all things to be equal here. Nintendo first, Nintendo first, but equal. So if Nintendo used their traditional regular logo, they'd be the smallest one. It would look like they don't care as much. So one can only assume that there is some obnoxious text thread out there where some strained marketing person was just begging, hey, is there any way we could possibly swap in our 1x1 Switch 2 logo? I know it's last minute, but it would mean a lot to me. And I don't think people would think it's weird. I don't think anybody would point it out or talk about it in a video. Maybe they would just see that we're trying to do something nice here. Also, does anyone know how to download a WebM? I got a green bar and it doesn't make sense.